world of film, you need to know a person like Hitchcock, because he's supposed to be the master craftsman of suspense. What Hitchcock used to do with his scripts is, he used to plot every single aspect of it so meticulously that literally had to walk in and everyone knew what had to be done. And he would not deviate from the script. He would treat the script as almost a holy text. He was so confident. Where will the camera be? Which is the single most important decision that you will ever take as a filmmaker. Where to place the camera, where to place it, and what lens to use. That determines everything, scene to scene, shot to shot. Anyway, so Hitchcock knew that, and he made some great films. On the other hand, there is tremendous scope for improvisation and innovation. The man who won the Golden Palm at Cannes this year is a man called Terence Malick. Have you heard of the name Terence Malick? He's made very few films in his life, and his latest film is The Tree of Life. I think it's called Tree of Life. I haven't yet seen it, very highly spoken of. But it's a complex structure where I believe he's trying to relate the evolution of the universe and humanity with the evolution of a single family in Midwest, USA. And there were actors like Brad Pitt in it. And they confess that they didn't know from day to day what the scene would be that day. He used to be writing, rewriting the night before filming. But then you need to have such complete confidence in your craft and your vision that you can afford to do it, and you hand your actors their dialogue in the morning, and the actors have enough respect for the director that they don't ask for the script in advance, and they say, right, whatever you say, we'll do it. And then the director allows the actors to in turn improvise on what he has already written. Well, that's another great step of courage and creativity. But that does not reduce the importance of the script. So eventually, I hope, Daniel Sahab, that, screenplay writing, if it is not already on your agenda, it is. Oh, I'm so sorry. Pardon my ignorance. Excellent, excellent. Acha, you are. Oh, acha, acha. Oh, excellent. I'm delighted to hear that. That has to be the beginning. And in recent years, Pakistan has remarkably enough developed some very gifted writers of these television serials. Women, some school teacher living in Sargodha, some person who most unlikely, she's not been trained, but she just developed this ability. Humaira, I think it's her name? Humaira Ahmed. And there are a couple of others. Of course, we have our own Hasina Moin, who is an example. But let me then finally say that as you contemplate going forward, one way to learn the craft of filmmaking, television direction, is to become an apprentice under a master or an ustad, a person who's already done well, and just be his or her assistant and learn. That's a great way also to learn. And try to follow in the footsteps of that person. A second is, of course, to not be an apprentice, to study it, the theoretical part, be a self-taught kind of filmmaker. I had the dubious privilege of becoming a self-taught filmmaker because I loved cinema from my childhood, and I didn't go to any film school, but I just loved looking at films and writing about them. And when 1968-69, when IEL wanted to make a first commercial where I was working, no one knew how to make a TV commercial. I volunteered, and it somehow worked, and that gave me a lot of confidence. And then I went on to make documentaries and so on, but that was self-teaching, and I would not advise you to be as foolish as I was, because you can also lose a lot of time and make a lot of mistakes. And the third is to go to an institution like this. And this, in my opinion, would be the best of those three options. Because here you have the benefit of people who have studied this subject, who've made mistakes, have learnt hopefully from those mistakes, and who have the ability to impart their knowledge and wisdom with you, to you, and share with you that experience. And I think the fact that this institution exists in Karachi is a great tribute to the private sector, as I said at the beginning. So far, it has been the PTV Academy in Islamabad which has fulfilled this need, and recently Beacon House University in Lahore and the National College of Arts, Lahore. But in Karachi, I don't think there is any institution of this kind. Neither do I think even in Lahore is there this kind of hands-on capacity. So this is fantastic. And I hope that you avail of this opportunity and benefit, and I wish you success. I'll take questions or comments if you have any. Thank you for your attention.
My question is, you also refer to developing a Pakistani idiom. Could you elaborate on what exactly do you mean by that? What is Pakistani idiom?
The Pakistani identity, कि हमारी शिनाख्त एक हिंदुस्तानी से मुख्तलिफ कैसे है, जबकि सकाफ़ती तौर पर इतनी चीज़ें हम उनके साथ शेयर भी करते हैं, लेकिन अगर हम पाकिस्तानी हैं तो नज़र आ जाता है और महसूस होता है कि ये एक पाकिस्तानी सरफिरा है या गाफिल है या मस्त कलंदर है, बिकॉज पाकिस्तानी तो हैं, एक तो गोश्त खोर हैं माशाल्लाह और वेजिटेरियन नहीं हैं, तो नज़र आ जाता है चेहरे पे कि ये खर दिमाग पाकिस्तानी है, कुछ भी कर सकता है किसी वक्त भी। तो एक तो वो है, शिनाख्त का कुछ हिस्सा है, कुछ और हिस्सा है मलंग होने का, या अपने ज़मीन, अपनी सरज़मीन से एक नया रिश्ता बन रहा है, बलोच, पख्तून, पंजाबी, सराइकी, न्यू सिंधीज़ लाइक माई सेल्फ, ओल्ड सिंधीज़ हु वर बोर्न हियर, जो सदियों से तो अपनी अपनी शिनाख्त रखते हुए सडनली वी बीन आस्क्ड टू बिकम पाकिस्तानीज़, और वो प्रोसेस हम अभी भी तलाश कर रहे हैं, हाउ टू बी पाकिस्तानीज़, और ये चलेगा प्रोसेस कई डेकेड्स तक। There is no Pakistani race, for example. There is a Chinese race. There is a Persian race. There is a Greek race, but there is no Pakistani race. And we are a nation without being a race. And what is the Pakistani cinematic idiom? Can it reflect this search for identity? So the way you construct a story and the way you depict a story should somewhere reflect this internal churning and search for identity. So how does that happen? Yeah, it's a moot point. Where they make films about patriotism, for example, a soldier dying in a war with India. So it's very easy to say, कि यार ये तो पाकिस्तानी आदमी है जो जाके शहीद हो गया. But that's not enough. That is in an act of war, and every national, every citizen of a country sacrifices his life for the country. But a Pakistani idiom is, number one, coming to terms with the land on which we live, accepting each other, accepting diversity, not wanting uniformity, respecting pluralism, cultural pluralism.
The reason why the drama of today is not catching the people as much as the drama of the past. क्या बात है?
Very good. With some exceptions. एक तो number one, the choices have increased tremendously. The unity of experience has changed. What used to happen was, pehle in the PTV days, one channel and one play, even with some defects. There was such a remarkable sharing of experience from Peshawar to Liaquatabad in Karachi. Everyone was watching Ankahi or Khuda Ki Basti and sharing in that, and everyone agreed, and there was a discussion that was on the same level of information and knowledge. Now what has happened is that the audience has become so fragmented and segmented. You're watching XYZ on Geo, someone is watching something else on ARY, someone is watching something else on Hum TV. I mean, the fragmentation has removed the sharing of a common experience. And because of that, some of us are missing out on some very good material also, which is being done. But because we are watching the wrong channel or we didn't switch on at the right time. Perhaps that's one reason. A third is the excessive commercialization and the ratings pressure on channels, which determines the quality of the scripts written for television. The rating system, the media buying houses are now determining a lot of the content that television channels produce. I mean, they've infiltrated news programs. पहले वो announce करते हैं जी अब आप खबरें सुने, खबरों पर एक फिर ब्रेक होता है, फिर वो कहते हैं जी हेडलाइन सुने, लेकिन एक ब्रेक के बाद उस पे भी एक ब्रेक आता है. Everything is a break. My God, the audience is broken up, in fact, and that has led to a vulgarization or a cheapening of the standard of material, excessive commercialization. That could be one. And fourthly, I suppose, lack of enough courageous producers or directors or channel owners who are willing to take the risk and at least set aside 1 hour per day, even late in the night, for experimental drama or innovative drama. The teleplay, for example, has virtually disappeared. पहले ज़माने में ये जो single plays होते थे, अब because of the commercial pressure, sponsors want a whole package of 13 episodes or 26 episodes. और बास तो serial सुना है वो जो 3 times a week, 4 times a week भी आते हैं ना, वो भी चल रहे हैं आजकल. माशाल्लाह, 5 times a week. तो क्या हद होगी, 5 times a week, just to produce that kind of soap material, 5 times a week, you're devaluing content straight away. So a variety of these factors have contributed to it. और ये अमेरिका में भी हुआ है. अमेरिका का lot of it जी है ना, आ रहा है. Oh, excellent, excellent, yes. बहुत अच्छे, बहुत अच्छे. That is a great art form, a single teleplay. And अमेरिका में वो जो दूसरा एक वर्जन है, made for TV movie, which is not exactly a cinema film, but which has elements of cinema within a TV screen format. जैसे HBO productions हैं, they are made for television, but they are made like feature films. तो वो उसका भी बड़ा स्कोप है पाकिस्तान में डेवलप करने के लिए. और इसमें इनोवेशन, एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन की ज़रूरत है. और कुछ चैनल ओनर्स में अगर हिम्मत हो तो दिमाग, जैसे आप कह रही हैं कि अब वापस आ रहे हैं टेलीप्लेस. तो बस question is, you know, this field needs courage to go into, but it's very rewarding. And don't be misled कि जी कोई चीज़ अगर box office पे कामयाब नहीं हुई, forget the box office. Just do your work well. That is the biggest reward.